And I'm live. Alive, alive. Oh, hello, Megaleech. Nice to see you, sir. Yes, so I just spent a really stressful 40 minutes troubleshooting with AIDzee, who has a system set up that makes no fucking sense to me whatsoever. It's just, but in the end, is theoretically working. So, hey, Kirsten, how are you tonight? I missed the Spirit Animals live stream because I was stuck troubleshooting AIDzee's technical setup. Oh my God, what an agonizing 40 minutes that was. And hello, Invisible Chicken. Nice to see you. Just a good thing because technically not seeing you anyway. So in practical terms, you are invisible to me. But yes, so all things being equal, AIDzee will join us at least for a while. I wasn't completely sure. First, when I was talking to him, he seemed quite sprightly and awake, as if he'd got some rest. But there were some telltale signs that maybe not, and maybe he doesn't have much in the way of stamina. Oh, damn, because I missed a cracking stream. Seb from Bad Frankie's was there. Nice. Mr. Blumenstein, hello and good evening to you. Yes, I don't just do live streams. I watch some live streams as well. What I'm referring to with Kirsten is, and we've talked about this in live streams before, on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, usually at 6:30. There's a live stream called Spirit Animals, which is about cocktails and spirits. And our man from Okar talking cocktails, getting different peoples in, and having a bit of fun. And they're normally very good streams, and usually get some good ideas of what to do for coming up with some drinkies. So yes, I was sorry to miss tonight's. Yes, something that was promised to take 5 minutes turned into 40 minutes of pure agony. I am not cut out to be a help desk, not even a little bit of it. Oh no, Henry didn't do the Mahalo cocktails with Seb. Henry is the regular host of Spirit Animals, and he has some segments that he does most live streams. One is What's That Bitter Taste in My Mouth, where he gets people to blind taste an Amaro, and they first try and guess if it's Old World or New World. And an Old World Amaro would be from Europe, usually France, Italy, sometimes other parts of Europe make notable Amaros. And New World would be Australia, New Zealand, America. And the other thing he does is he calls it Australia's Funniest Home Cocktails. There is just this terrible, we've talked about this before, there is a terrible old video channel for a site called Mahalo, where the hostess makes cocktails badly. And the joke is, no matter how wrong she is, you have to go. And she's always free pouring. Like, she's never measuring the drinks she makes. So when Henry gets someone to follow along with the game, like, no, you've got to be ready. You've got to pour with her. You have to pour the amount that she does. Like, you talk about some drinks, like, say an ounce of gin, and she's poured like 3 ounces into this glass. It's just like, oh my god, mainly technology. Yes, as much as I hate technology and much as I am not suited to be a help desk person, we got a result. So we may or may not see AIDzee. I sent him a text about 15 minutes ago with the link. I was talking to him only half an hour ago, and I sent him a text, haven't heard from him. So, she's been up since 2 a.m. your time. Damn. 5 a.m. your time. Having a beer. Why not? Pissed off. Oh, my God, yes. Thinking of the murder of George Floyd by police in Minneapolis. Oh, my God. That's, if you haven't seen that, that's wild. And it's actually, thankfully, caught on video, or there'd be no action at all. These cops straight up fucking murdered this dude, held him down on the ground, handcuffed, and a cop is kneeling on his neck, putting full weight on the guy's neck, and the guy's saying he can't breathe. And the cop kept his knee on his neck and killed him. And there's a bit of unrest in Minneapolis tonight. I was following some live tweeting of it. And yeah, the cops were, again, it was by all accounts a peaceful protest. And then the cops got really heavily and stuff started getting thrown, and the cops started tear gassing and macing people. In fact, I think the cops may well have started macing people before anything escalated at all, which of course made people angry. And what was interesting in the live tweeting I was seeing is a guy who keeps an eye on the extreme right-wing militia groups. And if you're ever online and you hear someone referring to Boogaloo or something that sounds like that, that is a term used by these extreme right-wing militias who believe the collapse of the United States is inevitable and is going to happen, and they want to actually accelerate. They are looking for opportunities to accelerate what they see as the natural end. So you'll often hear the term accelerationist used about them, because they want to take extreme actions to force the collapse of the existing power structure in the US, because they think they will rise to power. They'll be the new lords of their domain. And why they say Boogaloo is that old favorite Breakdance 2, Electric Boogaloo. And that sort of became a running joke for shitty sequels. You just call it whatever 2, Electric Boogaloo. And they're actually referring to a second civil war. They want there to be a second civil war. So when you hear people talking about Boogaloo, and weirdly, they've started calling themselves the Mujahideen, and they are referring to the fact that they think a second American war, civil war, is both inevitable and desirable. They very actively want it to happen. So a lot of the chatter around the protest about George Floyd being murdered by the cops, there was really strong suggestions the militia types were going to show up and try to seriously escalate violence, because they see that as delivering on their goals. So, weird nastiness is probably going to happen this summer in America. Fuck knows what's going to happen, because everyone's already really fucking edgy because of COVID-19. You've had all these people behaving stupidly. People are going to start fucking dying in huge numbers. barring an absolute miracle, in a month or two. And like, people are dying in significant numbers now in the United States. Like, we in Australia, we get worked up when there's one new diagnosis, or one new person died. We, a death was reported today, which brings Australia's death toll to 103. The US has been getting between 500 and 1,500 deaths a day for the last couple of weeks. And so, they're racing towards 100,000 deaths. In Australia, we're a bit kind of worked up that we got 100 deaths, and the US is racing towards 100,000. It's like 10 times our population, and 1,000 times the deaths. So, something right there. And there's going to be more agitation and violence and protests over the summer. Lucas Tripper, you have a question for me. What do I think about China aggression lately and their feud with India? I have not been keeping an eye on a feud with India, but that's troublesome. Two belligerent nuclear powers arguing with one another. You don't want that. So George was a server at your restaurant in Northeast Minneapolis. And your co-worker grew up in George's neighborhood in South Minneapolis. Yeah, I mean, that was fucked up. Oh, my God. And just the wave of racism that comes out, and the scary rescue. Good, I'm glad he's dead. He's a thug. It's just like, even if the dude had just committed an armed robbery while he's lying on the ground handcuffed, kneeling on his neck until you kill him is murder. The death penalty doesn't exist for armed robbery. And the death penalty can't be enacted, without legal proceedings. Like, if he was a murderer, the cops' actions would still be unconscionable. But Jesus, fuck. Like, Strip, what do I think of China's aggression? I'm not sure what you mean by aggression. Yeah, they're being belligerent. Yeah, with the, telling Australia to fuck off when Australia fucks with them. They're saying, well, we're bigger than you and we'll fuck back harder. Tain't real productive. Yeah. I don't know. It's just basically, China's fairly big and powerful, and I don't think they like people telling them what to do, even when they're wrong, even when they, as in China, are wrong. Oh, the Hong Kong. Oh, that's full on. That has the potential to be extremely full on. You're right, Locust Trooper. China's basically said Hong Kong's not separate anymore. There are no separate laws. We control Hong Kong. There's no two systems. There's one system. The Communist Party of China controls Hong Kong completely. That has the potential to turn real fucking nasty. So you say throw the officer and the other three in Gen Pop. Yeah, dude. Yep. I can tell you're upset. Absolutely justifiably upset. Okay. I'm going to have to look up China, India, because I didn't know they were feuding in particular. Oh, it's a border issue. Okay. Indian Express. Experts explain what triggered recent China border moves. Unprecedented tensions on the disputed Indian-China border, where Chinese soldiers moved into Indian territory, crossed the line of actual control, raised questions about Chinese motives. Okay, so that's a border conflict. Jesus, I didn't even know. Oh God, the horror. I don't know if anyone was here last night. Remember, I ended up looking up bobbleheads and these custom bobbleheads, and you can get a new custom bobblehead. This web page is covered in ads for custom bobbleheads because it's obviously picked up my search history. Oh, yeah. And Alan Moore's Jerusalem, which I did a search on as well. Fucking cookies following me everywhere. Okay. Cool. Hey, Annette. How you doing? Yeah, God, the border issues with India, that usually involves Pakistan and Kashmir way. There you go, dude. I had not been keeping up on the news. I did not know China was basically triggering a border crisis with India. Holy cow. Yeah, I mean, the totalitarians in China, but you've got a dude who's fucking really in love with fascist ideology in India as well. People think I'm speaking hyperbole when I talk about Modi's bunch in India being fascists. It's not. Modi's party is a direct line back to the Nazis in World War II. They were allies of the Nazis in World War II, and they really like Nazi ideology, basically. Oh, yes, the bloody nude bobblehead search. I was there when the nude bobbleheads were searched. Where were you? There you go, Annette. You didn't know there were border problems between India and China either. Now I don't feel as bad. Yeah, that's a great big 7 or what the fuck right there. Is that just to distract us? Like, hey, you'd all been worried about COVID-19 too much, so we're just going to give you something else to worry about. Fucking border conflict between two nuclear powers with really belligerent fucking leadership. Ooh, that's a thing you want, isn't it? Jesus. We can all start getting paranoid about nuclear winter again sometime soon. And it doesn't help. I did see Trump was saying he was going to make a statement about China and Hong Kong. And Trump's mates with Modi, Trump will absolutely aggressively take India's side v. China. Oh, shit, man. Oh, man, it's not looking good. Fuck. Yes, Locust Trooper, it is a scary world we're living in. Oh, my God, it's the fucking AIDzee all over again. On the bright side, I'm reliving my childhood. On the downside, it's the part where we thought we were going to die in a nuclear war. And, Jesus, retro. It's very retro. Fear of nuclear war. Very retro. Ah, good Lord. Locust Trooper, no, I don't really think India and China will use nukes, but you can't rule it out. They are both nuclear capable. They are both run by very belligerent authoritarians. It's not good. Not good at all. Kirsten, what am I drinking? This is just soursop, nectar, and lemonade. It's got some lime in it. So I was drinking a drink with lime in it earlier. I do want to make a cocktail in the second half, though. I also want to think about some more videos for my cocktail channel. I'm putting up 2 videos a week on like Tuesday and Thursday at the moment. And I put Tuesdays up, which has gone quite well. The James Bond Vesper Martini shaken versus stirred controversy. And I am putting up a comparison one. I've already edited and rendered this and all, so it's all ready to go. I'm ahead of the schedule. Milk punch comparison, making one milk punch with coconut milk and one with dairy milk, and seeing if there's a significant taste difference. Spoiler alert, so far I really don't like milk punches made with coconut milk. I like it with dairy milk. Like, I think China's thinking of creating an Asian empire. If China had expansionist goals, we'd all be fucked. One of the reasons it's sort of been okay with China is they seemed mostly inwardly focused, but they're clearly arguing about stuff around the edges on the border with India, Hong Kong, Taiwan. Taiwan thinks they're independent. China does not think Taiwan is independent. So they're clearly a bit antsy about their borders and the boundaries of what they control. And they do really belligerent stuff in the ocean laneways as well. There's often little disputes about islands and where ships can and can't go. They have disputes with Japan as well about sovereignty of both some islands and some ocean lanes, shipping lanes. So it's all kind of around here. If China got seriously expansionist, we'd all be fucked. Yes, that's it, Adriana. In the South China Sea, China's literally building islands, and they say, and this is our territory, so therefore we have jurisdiction of the ocean all around here as well. It's causing tensions. It is causing tensions with the US, with Japan, with Korea. Yeah, it's pretty tense. Maybe I need to make a cocktail to calm down. What is happening in cocktail world? What do Diffords say is their cocktail of the day? It's the Chrysler Building's birthday. That's interesting. I think cocktails made easy. Start your home bar with these 10 bottles. Not such a cheap thing to do in Australia. Suddenly get 10 bottles. That is not what I was expecting. It's jumped to a cocktail called the de rigueur, which is Scotch, grapefruit juice, and honey syrup. Yeah, that actually sounds okay. But that is really not, I did not click on that. Cocktails made easy. No, their link's broken. That's super weird. That is super friggin' weird. Cocktails at home. How to make cocktails at home. There we go. What ingredients to start with? How to make cocktails at home. I know how to make cocktails at home. I'm just interested in what they say. Because that's my first video on my cocktail channel, giving advice on it. Oh, it's the AIDzee man.
Nobody believes you, Angry.
And with good cause.
Basically, because they're too enjoyable. No, let me try that again. They're too pissed to disagree with you.
That's fair.
So they try and say things like, "Oh no, he's got it all wrong. The art on the walls does better as falling down the stairs than this cocktail of some kind of Manhattan." And so in America, there's some Second Amendment gun laws, and you're allowed to shoot them in the middle.
Yeah. We've all been talking about tensions being caused by China at the moment. As Catherine says, kind of like John Marsden's book, The Day After Tomorrow. It never actually identifies the invading army. It's either Indonesia. In fact, I think it's an Indonesian army, possibly backed by China. He doesn't really specify, but I'd always thought it was an Indonesian army, probably backed by China, invading Australia for its resources and space. But yeah, apparently, dude, I didn't know this, and it came up in conversation. China's decided to start a border dispute with India on a bit of the border they share, and they've decided they're taking Hong Kong back. There's no, separate life in Hong Kong for people. They're saying, nah, one system now, we own you. And
That was coming. That was always coming.
yeah, so they're fucking ratcheting it up right now.
Well, I mean, okay. If you look at the position they're in, no one can stop them doing anything.
Basically.
You know, you've got America who their only answer to anything is violence, and they can't afford violence. Not only that, they're not healthy enough for violence. I know this sounds stupid, but you've got to have a standing army. They call it a standing army.
Mm-hmm.
They're not in bed sick.
Is that what standing army means? Not in bed sick.
Standing. It means effectively ready to go.
Yeah. I just love the way you put it. That suggests to me there is a lying in bed sick army too. And they're just going, we'll catch up, fellas. I'm just not feeling it today.
Well, there is a sitting army, which is a rehab. We would call it rehab. And the I can't remember their names. The aardvarks, the plastic plastic skin surgery burn guys after the plane crashes.
Right.
And then there's the third case of the lying army, which is just waiting for the bed sores to take them.
Okay. Fair enough.
Remember,
so yeah, so now, and also just to make things fun, Trump said he's going to make a statement about China and Hong Kong as well. So, and he's incredibly anxious to distract America from the fact they're about to hit 100,000 dead after he said everything was fine. This is going to go away. And there's the other thing that does me. This is the beginning of that too. People are acting as though like, oh, geez, it was pretty bad that we had this thing where 100,000 people died, wasn't it? It's like, motherfucker, you wait till a year from now. But yeah, I don't know that people are particularly ready to face what is almost inevitable a year down the track. So, but I'll stop being the doomsayer because that's a bit goddamn depressing. So what are you eating? Everyone wants to know what you're eating, buddy boy.
What am I eating?
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm eating is I'm eating two white bread sandwiches
Okay.
of sandwich size, which I'm angry about.
Okay.
Toast size. But when I went to the all-night service station, they only had sandwich size. So I bought that, and I looked at the Indian vendor with contempt and disgust. Nothing to him because he'd gotten that all day. And then I got some waffles.
Yeah.
Waffles.
Ooh, waffles. Nice. Frozen waffles. We saw them. Waffles.
And they have been effectively left to be cool. And then when it was time to make the meat hot, they put butter all over the waffle, and then again, and then nuked the meat.
Okay.
Until it discovered that baby Jesus and Faustus could get along.
Yeah.
And then I went and said, "Righto, I'll be having some of your finest milk. And they went over in this shelf here. So,
all right, that's all good.
And I went, good. Then you will sell to me some of your nangs.
Nangs. Waffles and nangs, breakfast of champions.
Sorry?
I was just saying, waffles and nangs, breakfast of champions.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my God. Invisible Chicken recently had chocolate waffles that you toast in a sandwich press because they're stuck together with caramel sauce. It's like, oh my God, that sounds good. That sounds good.
Sounds like something you'd give a pussycat. So.
Yeah. Ooh. Oh, and again, now Soch wants waffles. So we've got a waffle maker buried in the cupboard somewhere. We've actually got a waffle maker over there. Or yeah, you would just box of Eggos. That's what AIDzee got, a frozen one. But a waffle press is fun because you can come up with all sorts of different things to stick in it. Potato gems, that's a good one. Potato gems cooked in a waffle press, and then you go to town with some toppings on that. This is a cheerier topic than China's going to get us all killed and coronavirus is going to finish anyone else off. Oh, invisible chick. Oh no, I don't have those. You just reminded me though. I got a little sort of waffly biscuity treat from Coles that I haven't eaten. I should just have it with ice cream. Not now. I've already had dinner. Yes, Dave Blumenstein, hash browns in a sandwich press. And I got this stuff from Costco. And I first got it, I don't know, like a month ago when we were all probably a bit paranoid about supplies and what was going to happen. And it was this big thing of, it was like freeze-dried, shredded potato. And that is it's in a little carton and you just pour boiling water in it and that rehydrates the potato. And then you make hash browns of it because it's all pre-grated. And I got it just on a whim. I thought, oh, man, that's good survival food. And I was fully expecting 12 months from now, this case of freeze-dried shredded potato will be untouched. But yon offspring got a hold of it, and they really like it. And so I've had to buy, we used it all, and I had to get another box of 8 of these cartons, and they're all gone too. And I was at Costco on the weekend and they were I didn't see them. They didn't have them in there. So it's weird. Yeah, see? So now you got to experiment with other stuff in the waffle press. Yes. And mini pie makers, Adriana. Yes. Get creative with what you put in your pie makers. Ah, Kirsten. Mac and cheese waffle from Hats and Tats. Post ISO meal. Oh, wowzers. I would do. I've never been to Hats and Tats. That's one of the places that's being featured on the Spirit Animals live stream we were talking about. Yeah, I'd be down for mac and cheese from Hats and Tats. Dave, you think I'm brave for going to Costco? I am. I'm a brave man. Yeah, it's Costco are limiting the number of people they let in the store at the moment. So it's quite common if you go there now that there'll be a lineup there. You know, everyone's like socially distanced in the line, and they sort of count people going in and out. I think Begley, is AIDzee crashing? He sure looks like it, but he's gonna keep eating and see how he is a bit. Yeah, there is a degree of semi-consciousness going on there. Yeah, you're gonna upset people if you fall out of the chair, AIDzee. Ooh, that sounds good, Dave. You've been sticking to continental food outlets in faraway suburbs where you can get Polish jam and Ukrainian pickles. That sounds very novel. And hey, Luke, hello, how are you? What am I drinking? Safra, I'm just finishing what's it? Soursop nectar. Speaking of Costco, one of my Costco experiments, soursop nectar and lemonade.
You giving cops Costco alcohol and saying, "Don't make me go to jail."
Adriana thinks you should be wearing a safety helmet, AIDzee. Everyone's worried you're going to fall out of the chair.
Is that the extraction of the urine from me?
No, actually, I think it's serious.
Right.
I don't think it's taking the piss at all. But yeah, that's okay. One of those little helmets so you can bounce around your house. Yes, Luke races. Pauline Hanson saying she's going to take the Queensland government to the High Court to open the borders because she is a moron. Yeah, I think you might need to retire for the evening, buddy boy. I'm thinking that could be on the cards for you. You're just focusing on your food. That's fair. Focus on dinner. Yes.
What are we focusing on?
You appear to be focusing on your dinner. Because I don't know, there's a vibe that maybe you should be retiring for the evening.
No.
No?
I'm listening to the vibe of people getting it in the Asia, and you don't want to get it in the Asia while there's some disease going on.
Yeah.
And this is a mistake that China's made in the past.
Yeah.
They think that while some terrible fucking is going on in some area, they're going to have all this time and power to do with whatever the hell they want. So it's well worth. It's well worth.
I'm gonna do some prep work. I was just grabbing a couple of things because I'm gonna make a drink, but what I need is fresh lime juice. And fortunately, I have fresh limes. So
you've got what?
Fresh limes.
What's a fresh lime as opposed to a normal lime?
No, I mean, as opposed, I'm not going to have bottled lime juice. I've got an actual lime, and I'm going to juice it. So I have fresh lime juice.
Oh, fresh. I thought you said French, as in, bonjour, je joue le lime, je suis Nazi, je veux Guillaume de Lobster. Oh, you have punched me in the face because I am a dickhead.
Yes, the French limes are almost the same. They're just more arrogant. I got to juice my limes, so I have some fresh lime juice. And I have discovered particular want to make. Okay, Annette also thought I said French, so I am clearly not enunciating very well. Yeah, because that's the ones I've got. Oh no, I've got the Woolies equivalent, the likable limes. The I'm Perfect ones. Yeah, I had them before. A while back, I was there. They had some of their, the I'm Perfect ones that were also just about out of date. So they marked them right down. And I bought 3 big bags for about they're $1 or $1.50 each. And so much juice. So good for cocktails. And in fact, good for the Pepsi. I love a bit of lime in the Pepsi Max. Very good. $3 bag, man. I've got to go. Oh, well, I've got these limes. But yeah, they're often a good price at the Coles.
Split screen.
What are you doing to your screen?
Whatever.
Here is what I found.
You're talking to Siri.
I'm talking to Cortana.
Oh, Cortana.
And she's starting to behave herself better because I've stopped threatening to piss into her main RAM.
Yeah.
And then drag her through the streets with a Scold's apple on, screaming, whore, whore, burn her vagina.
Okay.
So she's getting better at it, but she's still got a long way to go.
Yeah.
Snap assist. Oh, yeah. Yeah, right. Okay. But I don't want to do that. I want to. Okay. Split screen.
So Kirsten got some pickling onions. Into pickling. It's not something I'm into, I have to admit. Maybe I'd like. Okay, if I was being honest, I haven't really tried pickled onions. Maybe I would like them. I need to get a bit of paper towel. Ugh. All right.
Fucking
That's a bit better.
I hate when I drop my dinner on my fucking writings.
Yeah, I have the bad habit of eating while sitting at my computer as well. And yeah, so there's food stains on a lot of my books and whatnot. So,
I mean, it could be poems of the future where they go, did he mean this or did he mean that? No,
yeah.
he just dropped a little virus-a-roni.
Yeah. Yeah. What was the significance of the stain across where he wrote his mother's name? Is he saying his mother stained his whole life? And your ghost's going, no, I spilled my dinner, you idiots. What the hell?
It was my father, and I really just spilt my dinner. Before we did what do they call it? I can't even remember what they call it. It's where people touch one another at the moment. Anyway,
oh gosh, Soch has got a problem with yellow jacket wasps, and the housemate's deathly allergic. Picking up a trap. Yeah, the Australian solution, mate, would be to have pet huntsman spiders. They they are called huntsmen for a reason. They are actually hunters of bugs, and I think they would put up a good fight against a yellow jacket. Or praying mantises. Cultivate praying mantises in your house, because praying mantises won't fuck with wasps. They'll bite their heads off. I actually saw a video because everyone was worried about those invasive wasps from Asia, which people started flamboyantly calling murder hornets. And they are beastly things. They're not really dangerous to humans, although apparently it hurts like fuck if one stings you. The main concern with this particular predatory hornet is they can wipe out whole bee colonies. They're really vicious and will wipe out whole bee colonies, which is not good for agriculture. But I did see a video someone shared online of a praying mantis with a murder hornet, and the praying mantis just went kapow and grabbed it and just eats its head while it's still alive. And it's just like there's something somewhat satisfying about the praying mantis don't give a fuck is just, grab the murder hornet and fucking eat its head. Teach it a lesson. Teach it the hierarchy of the bug world. But yeah, in Australia, I'd say you'd want huntsman spiders in your house to get them. In Southeast Asia, they keep Malaysia, particularly, it's a big thing with families to keep these Malaysian tarantulas in the house, really fucking big spiders, but they eat every other bug in the house. And the folklore story I was told is that they're also very tasty. And if you keep the tarantulas in your house eating all the other bugs, they get very fat, they get very well fed. And when they get to a certain size, the household will catch them and chuck them in the pot, because spiders, being quite closely related to crabs, they got good eaten meat on them. When you got a big tarantula, they got some good eaten meat on them. And so it's like the circle of life. You invite the tarantulas into your house to eat the other bugs. The tarantulas get good and fat from the big diet of many, many, many bugs. And then you eat the tarantulas. And this was, I was told,
really, they get ripped off.
the tarantulas.
Yeah.
It's not a great deal for the tarantulas, no.
It's not a great deal for them because they basically get taken from nature, where they were quite happily taking the small children of the street, and doing things to them, then selling them off to the crime syndicates. And then they were being taken and made to be on nature documentaries and behave themselves. And get fat on dirty, filthy nature. And have you seen these things and where they live and how they come out of? They come out of the dirt and the side gardens and the leaves and that. And you've got to go, oh my God, I've got freezing cold. And then you eat it, and then you get fat and go, God, I feel sick. And then they grab you, boil you, and sell you off. And you just go, I am Kant's understanding of what Kierkegaard's life would be. Hope for everything, understand pain.
Yeah, I understand Immanuel Kant was a real pissant. He would drink you under the table.
While I was saying that.
Sorry?
Did you just walk away while I was saying that?
Yeah, but I could hear you perfectly well.
Because I was researching something else to do because I work hard. And
you work very hard.
Because you hate me because I'm white.
Yeah.
And we had an argument during making the fucking microphones go, but we won't be doing that again. We'll just be doing it condom free. Tell you what.
Yeah.
We're finding out what those things are useful for.
Yeah.
And I'll be talking to my man about monitor earphones and what I should be doing about it. And he'll be telling me all about it.
I thought Boss of the House was good with technology. Am I mistaken on that front? Or
one more time?
I thought Boss of the House was good with technology.
Well, he hasn't been around.
I know he hasn't, but
and by the way, every time he's been around, it's worked. He's seen it go.
That's true. That is true.
And so, there's been no hassle on his part as to what was supposed to happen. Tonight he was looking at it going, this is not right. Turn everything off. And eventually we did. And it worked. I will be, I'll be pounding the fuck out of various different communications companies to make sure that they run things a bit more smoothly.
Yeah.
And I want a set of those headphones where you put them on
Yeah.
and they ring up and you know that it's a phone call and you don't take your hands out of your pockets and you just press a yes, answer
Yeah.
the fucking phone, or
Yeah.
say yes, answer the fucking phone.
Mm.
And I don't think I've got one at the moment, so I'm gonna check that out too. I'm gonna take all the stuff back to my man Reese and go, Reese, help me out, dude.
All
And
right.
he's gonna go, I've got really big teeth, and you lay a lot of dough on me, so I'm just gonna let the circle of life continue.
That's fair.
Done.
Yeah. Apparently, Safa thought it looked like I was baking something. I was squeezing limes, and I'm done. So now I'm going to make a tasty beverage that I just found. Bacardi sour, basically, which I've never made. They call it a fireman's. I guess because it's going to come out pink, a fireman's sour. So I need to get my components, my shaker. My egg white is over here. Here, egg white. So egg white, got my shaker. I'll put some ice in my shaker, actually. And I'm going to put a glass on ice. Let's do that. You go there. I think that'll work. Some ice. That'll work. Yep, all right, that's good. Okay, ice in the shaker. Grapefruit juice, which was down here. And Bacardi, which is over here. Bacardi. Okay. Oh, white rum sour. Okie dokie. So this is pretty easy component-wise. So, with our white rum, established 1862 at Santiago de Cuba, and now it's made in Puerto Rico, which upsets some purists, apparently. But anyway. So, we go.
Why?
Oh, well, you know, Cubans and Puerto Ricans don't like each other.
Well, I don't think that's very funny.
Well, I don't think they think it's very funny. I think they take the whole thing very personally.
Yes, but I'm very racist.
I know. Look, Cubans and Puerto Ricans, that's like you and New Zealanders, basically.
That's right.
Murderous blind rage at the mere sight of them.
Yeah.
The mere sight of them will drive you into just apoplectic murder lust.
Yeah.
Forgot my grenadine. My homemade grenadine. Come on, grenadine. You can come together. Here we go. Put some grenadine in the drink. It's going to make it a very sweet drink. Actually, not that sweet because it's got lime and grapefruit juice. Sort of both sour, tart. So we go. Really, she thought that was Canadians. AIDzee's like groundskeeper Willie. It's like natural enemies like me and New Zealanders, or me and Canadians, or me and Australians. Basically, no one gets on with me.
No.
Right.
Release the dogs at a moment's notice.
The
moment is noticed.
Yeah.
and you run very fast.
Yeah.
With the second lot of stitches are going to be put in there.
Should have done a dry shake of this first, but I already put the ice in, so we'll soldier on through adversity. I mean, honestly, people talk about the greatest generation just because they lived through World War One, the Great Depression, World War Two, and the nuclear arms race. I am having to deal with putting my ice in my shaker too soon. Okay, so who's really suffered? Who has really suffered? That's what I want to say.
Please stop talking. Get the winner.
Oh, that's the maraca sound for this evening.
I'm still triggered.
You're still triggered by the sound of maracas?
No, by the terrible things that had to happen before you shook the maracas.
Oh yeah. No. The real tragedy of mistiming of ice.
What the fuck?
Adriana, you should make the drink along with me. Adriana thinks it's a bit mean. I'm making a special drink and no one else gets to taste it. That's, boys and girls, that's what we call a wash line. Getting that, and that's more luck than anything else, but getting that perfectly at the top of the glass. Yeah, baby. I've never made one of these before. I'm slightly out of breath from the aggressive shaking. And because I am incredibly unfit. So you get that nice little foamy on the top from the egg white, and it's a nice pink color. Difford's call this a fireman's sour. I don't know. That's being fussy. I'd just call it a Bacardi sour. But like whiskey sours, you use lemon juice. This uses lime juice and a bit of grenadine. It's very nice. And the ice shake. Are we looking at the second greatest generation living through the coronavirus and Trump and putting the ice in the shaker too soon? But I still got a good foaminess from the egg white, so I'm happy. I've got to get Wonder Foam at one point. Oh, yeah, Safa, Twitter actually fact-checked Trump because Trump was posting stuff that for the 1,000th time was blatantly untrue. And Twitter actually put a fact check under one of his tweets saying, this isn't true. And Trump kind of lost his shit over that. This is such strange times we're living through. The way Trump is behaving is frankly terrifying. Like the person who is theoretically in charge of the largest, most heavily armed standing army in the world is a petulant fucking child, and it makes us all feel dangerous. Buddy, yeah, I'm thinking you should be calling it a night, my man, because you don't even hear me telling you that you're losing consciousness and falling out of the chair. Yeah. I actually thought Boss of the House was there. He was there earlier. Did he go out somewhere? Yeah, buddy, I think you need to retire for the evening. Yeah? You're not hearing me? Now, it's not narcolepsy, Annette. It's really severe sleep deprivation because of chronic pain. Unfortunately, in AIDzee world, even when he does go to lie down and go, I'm going sleepy bobos now, every joint in his body says, or not. What do you say about that, big guy? You brain is saying sleep. You know what every bloody joint and nerve ending in the body says? Every joint and nerve ending in the body says, maybe not. Maybe not. It's the joy of chronic pain. So, what are you doing, big guy?
I am putting my plate upon the sink of joy.
Because you're a civilized man.
I am experimenting with a
Yeah.
thing that I have seen from China, and they grab a pinch of clothes washing detergent
Yes.
and put it on possibly the first or the dirtiest plate.
Yeah.
And then they leave it. And then when it comes time to clean up,
Yeah.
that one goes in with the hardcore ones.
Yeah.
Then the sink is drained, and then
Yeah.
the normal wash happens. And it's apparently a lot quicker.
Ah, okay. That's 21st century thinking, buddy. Hey, Strictly Sega. Hello. How are you? So yeah, and it would be simpler if AIDzee had narcolepsy, because that would be one thing. But he's unfortunately dealing with sleep deprivation, as in being unable to sleep for days on end because of the rather extreme levels of chronic pain that he's dealing with, which is not good. It's not good at all. So, did you tell me what?
About my mother?
You got to share a story about your mother on the live stream?
Yeah.
Okay, what about your mother? Lovely lady.
I rang her up because, you should ring up your mum.
Yeah.
So I rang her up and she said, hello, darling. It's great to hear from you. It's 1:15 in the morning. Should we speak again tomorrow? I'll call you.
Right. You've been doing that to me as well.
Yeah, but I do that for fun.
I know. But thanks to the cunning people in this live stream, I now have my phone on Do Not Disturb in the evenings, so you don't wake me up if you try to wake me up.
I had a thing there for a longest time where my phone was on quiet if you tried to message me of a night time.
Mm.
It'd still message, but it'd be quiet. And if you tried to ring me, it wouldn't get through until you rang me 4 times, like an emergency.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just had this on so long, and the people around me thought it was such a great idea that they had it on so long that I fucking forget when I'm very, very sleep deprived or just an idiot that people don't have their message on quiet. So when I message them, because it's quiet when you message people, they fucking answer it or hear it or get woken up or stop watching pictures of Lara Croft with me watching pictures of Lara Croft, which is weird and kind of roundabout, but works really well if you think about it philosophically.
Okay. Yes. I actually spoke to AIDzee's mum the other day because she put his birthday money in the fundraiser, which I'm sure everyone in here has heard of. And everyone is No, wait, that's the wrong thing. I've got to share. That's what I want to do. Copy a link. All right, Durania, I haven't set up ICE yet, in case of emergency things. I'll get around to that at some point. So I'm sure, oh, wait a sec. I'll put it on Facebook as well, because this won't message directly to Facebook, because Facebook and StreamYard aren't getting on, which is not good. So I'll just do that. So I'm sure everyone in here has already given the moral support to AIDzee's fundraiser to try and get a couple of things to make his life more manageable, and for his 50th birthday as well. And quite a lot of people have donated, which is wonderful, and you're all fantastic. But don't feel compelled to donate. I know a lot of people in precarious economic circumstances at the moment, because the fucking world is in precarious economic circumstances. If you're able to share the link, tell people AIDzee's a swell guy and you should support him. Yes, we get a nude AIDzee bobblehead. I'm going to have to look up that site and work out what you have to give them to get a scan of your head, actually. Because I think AIDzee would really like either the nude bobblehead or the one where you're down on all fours with the bum in the air and the butthole is a pen holder. I kind of think AIDzee would like that one. His head on this figure that's down on all fours with its butt in the air, and its butthole is a pen holder. So that feels like it would just be him. That just reminded me. There was this little video that someone put on Twitter recently of their, I think, 5-year-old daughter, and they said she's really good at procrastinating, trying to put off going to bed. And they got this video of her because she's saying, no, I can't go to bed. I've got a song. I've got to sing a song. And they said, what's the song? I'll record it. And the song that this kid is just spontaneously making up is she's, I wonder what's inside your butthole. I wonder what's inside your butthole. I really want to know. I really want to know what's up inside your butthole. Maybe it's astronauts. Maybe it's aliens. What's inside your butthole? And which the song slaps. It's really good in itself. But of course, the internet being the internet, people immediately did remixes and cover versions of it as well. And there was actually the first remix I saw was the best one, and it's just someone has done a music track for it and cut the girl up, and it's just this really good pop song. I wonder what's inside your butthole. I wonder what's inside your butthole. It could be a hit. That's all I'm saying. It could be the isolation hit single, because we all get to that stage. We've been, not going out much. Some people not going out at all, not socializing, although we're now getting, in Australia at least, to the we can socialize pretty well. Restaurants and venues are going to start opening next week. So we can start socializing again. But I think when we were stuck inside, not socializing, we all found ourselves looking at someone, maybe it was on Instagram, maybe it was on TV, maybe we're watching a movie, it's a big movie star on there, and we've just gone, I wonder what's inside their butthole. So you've seen it, Annette. Yeah, it gets stuck in your head. It is a moment of real art.
Do you want to know what's inside my butthole?
I have a horrible feeling that I know.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Do you think you know? Well, how about you start and I'll tell you.
Fingerprints? I don't know. What if?
Fingerprints, I don't know what. What a cop out. You could have started with the 18th century furniture.
There was that delivery truck that went missing.
Yeah, but that was fucked because that was supposed to be the B-Day,
Yeah,
right? And it was supposed to be the fucking Queen Anne B-Day, but they
yeah.
fucking delivered the French fucking Revolution B-Day. Now, the French Revolution B-Day is porcelain, and they didn't even fucking bother to wrap it in the bubble wrap. So, thankfully, it's not cracked because those fucking Maori guys, though they're fucking big as houses, are the most gentle fucking individuals you've ever seen.
Yeah. Oh my god! I
Sorry,
just remembered.
of I think it's benzodiazepine. Um, yeah, there it is. Hang on.
Oh, nice, Catherine! You actually put a video up last week. I'm putting up another one on Friday. Nice,
Yeah, no.
excellent.
Anyway, so then I've opened up my B-Day, and then I've gone to myself in my head. I wonder how many people get angry at the driver for the fuck up, and it's not his fuck up.
Yeah.
He's the guy that basically got in the truck, took it from Foxville, Alabama, Shittsville, Preston, to your place, unpacked it, put it to the room you want it. Not there, no, over there, no, over there, no, over there, no, over there, because it's too heavy for me. Thanks, Karen. And then you can unpack it, lady. I don't have a knife. A kitchen knife will often do it. And then she screeches, going, "This is not the one that I wanted, and it's a porcelain one, and it could have been damaged." Well, if it's not the one you wanted, you don't give a fuck if it got damaged, do you? So I want to see a Mondrian B-Day, personally,
Okay.
that has moving parts. I want to see a Mondrian B-Day. I want to see it operated by voice. And I want to see all the various different controls and colours pop out of their own accord, doing different things because they need to and because they're designed to. Who's in this with me?
I don't know. I don't know if you're going to have any takers. Once we got inside your butthole, I just remembered this terrible joke we used to tell when I was at school. We used to do Dad and Dave jokes. For those who don't know, Dad and Dave is a very old archetypal Australian characters, very sort of slow talking bush people, like where I grew up in Dubbo. And this one terrible joke was Dad and Dave had gone gold prospecting. And so they got their horse and cart, and Dave's girl Mabel came with them to cook and clean while they were gold prospecting. And they had a good result. They had a little bag of gold. It was a good result. And they're coming back to town. And bush rangers stop them because the bush rangers had been staking out the likely gold panning areas, and they figured this mob coming back would have gold. And it was like, bail up, you money or your life. And they're like, oh my god, what are we going to do? We're going to lose the gold. And Dave really quickly, he's got a little bag of gold, and Mabel's in the back of the wagon, and he just goes, Mabel, stick this up your snatch. They won't look there. And she's like, okay. And so she hides the bag of gold, and the bush rangers search and they frisk, and they can't find the gold. And in their frustration, they just take the horse and cart. And Dad thinks, blimey, where's the gold, Dave? They frisked us. They frisked all three of us. They searched the wagon. Where's the gold? And Dave goes, Mabel's hiding it, in nature's pocket. I knew, she'd fit. And Dad goes, oh, that really pisses me off. And he goes, why are you pissed off, Dad? We saved the gold. He goes, no, I'm pissed off because now you came up with that idea. If I'd brought your mother along, I reckon we could have saved the horse and cart as well. So that is the sort of joke we used to tell growing up in Dubbo.
I'm building a fence to keep car out.
Oh my God, that ad! Jesus.
Do you remember seeing it now?
Oh my God, I do. Yes, a fucking country party, dude.
It's the best ad ever made.
Yeah.
It is possibly the greatest piece of cinema verite ever designed, and I think future generations need it. So I would like to find it, preserve it, and make copies of it. With groups of us. I'm building a fence to keep X out.
Yeah.
So we keep everything the same, but I'm building a fence to keep X out. We top and tail the piece with keep car out. And I reckon we could punch out 40 or 50 of them.
I think so. I was just hopeful I might find it on YouTube. So I just typed, I'm building a fence to keep car out, and just got a bunch of really helpful how to build fence videos. Sadly, not the ad. I'm building a fence to keep car out. That's a disappointment.
Don't have a copy of the ad at the moment.
Not at this very second. Maybe if we keep digging.
We'll keep digging. We'll find it. Someone will have it. Someone will have it. Someone will have looked at it and gone, I cannot leave this alone.
Yeah.
Phil somebody that we know will have looked at it and gone, I have to keep this purely from a social perspective, because he's that kind of guy. Like, I need to keep this for history.
Yeah. Oh my God. Just where we went to college in Bathurst, Western Sydney, just the locally made ads for country TV back in the day, really fucking low budget, dodgy as fuck.
I was in 3 of those ads, mate.
And those would have been the best ones.
And they were 0 budget ads.
Yeah.
And I was non-voiced, but I was billed.
Okay.
One of them was stop motion, and I was there for 14 hours to do a 15-second bit.
Okay.
Don't do stop motion.
Stop motion is really difficult. Saf wants to know, was Bathurst racist? Yeah. I don't know. There weren't actually many Indigenous people in Bathurst for them to be racist at. There's more Indigenous people in Dubbo, where I grew up. But just country towns generally are pretty goddamn racist. But my favorite ad, it was for a car dealership, sold the light commercials for farmers, utes and small trucks. And there's this guy, for verisimilitude, they got a farmer to do the ad. And I don't know how many takes they did, whether it was 1 or 1,000, but it was still terrible. I'll try and recreate it for you. The guy goes like this. if I need a fence going over that hill, then I need a reliable ute that I get from Smithy and Son. And I love to think that they spent an hour or two just doing take after take after take after take, and he never got any better. And after the 1,000th really appalling take, they just went, yep, you know what? Fuck it. That's it. That is an actual commercial we are going to put on TV, and no one can stop us. There's just stunning the sort of ads that used to get on TV, on country television in the 70s and 80s. Buddy, you need to go to bed, honestly. You're
I think I need to go to bed, and I think I need to finish the letter that I was writing to my mum.
Oh yeah.
And then just trash. I don't know if I need to get up tomorrow early at all.
Yeah.
Because fuck them. I can wake up Friday.
All right. Well, make sure you tell your mum in the letter that everyone in the live stream sends their love. So I feel like I can speak on behalf of the live stream that everyone wants all the best to AIDzee's mum.
I'm gonna write a letter from George to the live stream by next week.
That sounds good.
And I expect it to be a fucking doozy.
Who were we talking about earlier? Someone from the yurt.
What's that?
We were talking earlier about someone coming on the live stream. It was someone from the yurt.
I don't know, man.
I don't know. We said it and we both thought it was funny, and then it totally went out of my head.
But I have issues.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, you do what you need to do. Get yourself some sleep.
Yeah. I'm getting some sleep, and I'm getting some milk as well.
All righty. Oh yeah, drank all your milk. Good for your bones. Drank all your milk.
Got to be good for your bones. And I was gonna drink the rest of my tablets that I was supposed to.
That sounds like a good idea.
I can't remember which ones they were. Weren't those ones? Oh no, I know where I am. We're good.
All right, good man. All right, we're gonna sign off then.
I'm going to sign off. You guys have the very, very best one. You're much loved, and remember that the security codes on most US ICBMs are 000 set that way to hit the codes in a matter of quickness rather than security.
Good to know. Good to know.
Good to know.
All right.
So if you ever want to hit an ICBM, 000.
That's a worthwhile tip. All right. Good night, matey.
No night.
We'll see you later.
Love yous.
Cheers. All righty. I'm staying. Hey, maybe look. I don't know. Maybe we should. I don't know if anyone else wants to join the Streamio. I'll just have to put that on Facebook as well. Where are we? Facebooky. Okay. So if anyone wants to join via the web camera, that's the link. You can have a little cam party. That sounds wrong whenever you talk about partying on cam. Sounds a bit sexual. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but just possibly not what we're doing tonight. Ooh. I'm looking at cocktail recipes, and you gotta love the name of them. This one could be about Joe Biden. It's a sloppy Joe. A sloppy Joe is Bacardi and triple sec and vermouth and lime and sugar syrup and grenadine. That's not that removed from what I had before. It's the one I just had, but with an orange liqueur and vermouth in it. Yeah, there you go. Catherine. Hey, Catherine.
How are you? How are you?
Oh, my God.
Good.
Brokes. Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, just a bit not bored, but like trying to find more things to do. So
That's good.
yeah, so I went to my dad's over the weekend and just had him build something for me. So
Okay.
yeah,
Well, that's
that
pretty
was
good.
fun. Yeah.
That's pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, you were saying that you had been doing some videos?
Yeah. I actually shot one last week, about 2 minutes, and shot, and I've got parts of another one half done that I'm just doing at the moment, but I'm just editing on like the Photos app on Windows because yeah, I just can't find anything I like.
Yep.
I just thought keep it easy for about a while and see if I want to get better. I'll find something better
Cool.
to edit with.
Yep.
But they just all shot on my phone, so
Okay.
yeah,
All right. Cool.
yeah.
I just noticed,
Cool.
sorry?
Nothing.
Okay. Just noticed Toriana in the chat saying it previously had Googled dirty cocktail names and something else. So now I'm compelled to do that.
Go and do that.
Okay, here we go. Dirty cocktail names. The Suck, Bang, and Blow. Okay, I've never heard of that. So that's tequila, Smirnoff, Absolute Citron Vodka, Jägermeister, Peppermint Liqueur, Orange Flavored Gin, Goldschlager Cinnamon Snaps, Hypnotic Liqueur, Triple Sec, Lime, Strawberry Daiquiri Mix, cranberry juice. So, that's a punch because it's like, yeah, God, that's a punch. That is a huge amount of booze now. Okay, and then there's one called an Angel's Tit, creme de cacao, maraschino liqueur, heavy cream with maraschino cherry on top to be a nipple. The Adios motherfucker. I actually know that one. That's like a variant of a Long Island iced tea. Long Island iced tea is just lots of different
alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah, just get you so drunk.
Yeah. The Adios motherfucker is vodka, rum, tequila, gin, blue curacao, sweet and sour mix. So, yeah. So it's just different ingredients, but a similar thing. Oh,
Yeah.
This one I like the name of, a Bend Over Shirley. That's vodka and lemonade and grenadine. Oh, okay. Yeah, because a Shirley Temple is a non-alcoholic drink, and that's like lemonade and grenadine.
Okay.
So put some vodka in a Shirley Temple, and it's a Bend Over Shirley. Okay.
Oh, whoops. Yeah, I'm just I was just googling. So Fluffy Duck. They have one called a Dirty Duck cocktail. What that got in it? That's got Irish cream, Canadian whiskey, and Kahlua.
Okay.
Yeah.
A dirty duck. This one's called Sex on My Face.
Whoa! What that got?
It's got Canadian whiskey, Malibu, Southern Comfort, banana liqueur, cranberry juice, pineapple juice, orange juice. So it's a slight variation of Sex on the Beach, and they've gone a bit more graphic and called it Sex on My Face. So there you go.
Yeah. Do any of them sound appetizing right now, or
Not really. Was
yeah?
it liquid? Oh, they call it liquid Viagra. Is Jägermeister and Red Bull, but that's just a Jaeger bomb. You put Red Bull in a glass. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Now they're getting rude. This one's called a red-headed slut. Jägermeister peach schnapps and cranberry juice. Okay, this one I've heard
I
of.
get the red.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get how the red comes from that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This one was very popular in the 90s. I remember this. The cocksucking cowboy, which is just butterscotch schnapps and Baileys. Oh my God, this one's just called ass. Ass because it's American. But that's just vodka and sour apple pucker schnapps. There's a shot called Sex with an Alligator. Yeah. Raspberry, melon, sweet and sour, and Jägermeister. So, oh, God. This one's called an anus burner. That's tequila with jalapeno and hot sauce.
Whoa.
Yeah. Oh, God. This one's called the leg spreader.
No.
Oh, God, that's just tequila, vodka, gin, and rum. Yeah, that is just trying to get someone drunk.
Yeah.
That's not balanced at all. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and this is the shooter from they had this in the Deadpool movie, The Blowjob. Bailey's amaretto with whipped cream on top. Or in a slippery nipple, yes, that's Bailey's.
Yeah.
These are all very 80s or 90s things. A creamy pussy is Bailey's and strawberry cream liqueur.
Oh, lovely. Bailey's make a strawberry cream liqueur.
They do. I've seen it as limited. I've actually got a strawberry cream liqueur, not Bailey's, made by someone else. Good for making dessert cocktails. What's this one? A three-legged monkey, whiskey, amaretto, and pineapple juice. That might actually be okay. Whiskey, amaretto is like an almond. I can approximate that because I've got a macadamia liqueur. Amaretto is an almond liqueur, and I've got pineapple juice. Canadian whiskey, rye whiskey is like Canadian whiskey. I could approximate a three-legged monkey, but with an Australian macadamia, call it a three-legged koala or something. Make it very Australian. I still haven't had. I think I've tasted soju actually.
Yeah. Because when I toured Korea in December, we were drinking soju and beer and soju and Red Bull.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like really good. Yeah, because of the thing where you would pour in about that much soju into a cup and pour in the beer and then kind of like mash it with a spoon and it all fluffs off and it's like really good. Yeah.
I like Kirsten's take on that one. The one that was called the leg spreader. It's not a leg spreader. It's a floor finder. Okay, Kirsten thinks I should make that one with the Mac. So I can, because I've got Rittenhouse Rye, which is a 100 proof rye whiskey. That'd actually, okay, I'm gonna do it. That might actually be a decent drink. I'm going to try it. I'll just have to find it. Then there's the no, it's not that one. It's not that one.
No, Safa. No, nothing was happening in December. It was really quiet. We went like the second week in December. Safa just asking about COVID. And there was no big deal about anything. No one was scared. And yeah, I mean, there was a couple of people with masks, but like, I just thought that was their culture.
It is, yeah. People didn't get really worried about coronavirus till January.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
question. I could really Australianify the three-legged monkey. Instead of Canadian whiskey, I could use the Starwood old-fashioned premix that I have. That I'd be interested in your views, Kirsten. I could do 1 ounce of the Starwood old-fashioned, 1 ounce of Mac, and 1 ounce of pineapple juice. This is where I find out if Kirsten thinks I'd be ruining the pre-mixed Starwood old fashioned. It's like not enough alcohol. Okay, not enough alcohol. Okay, I'll use the Rittenhouse Rye because that's pretty serious. Luke, quiet about the Vegemite vodka. I should never have admitted I still had Vegemite vodka in my fridge. You all made me do a shot of it one night, and it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. It's one of the worst things.
How long have you had that?
Like a year. I made it like a year ago. Yeah, I do. I'm trying to decide whether to shake or stir this drink. Yeah, no, shake because it's got juice. Okay, I just have to rinse my shaker out. This will just take a second.
Yep. Rinse the shaker out and make more cocktails. Hi, Chicky. Hello. So AIDzee's getting prepped. Getting prepped to make more cocktails, and he will be back. And so I'm here. Sorry, Henry. Yeah, I got you and AIDzee. Yeah. So what is going to be in this cocktail?
All right, let me get the ingredients. Rittenhouse Rye, Mac, so these two spirits, Rittenhouse Rye, 100 proof rye whiskey, an Australian macadamia liqueur.
Yeah, you've shown that before. Yeah.
I need to put some things away. Put the Bacardi away.
I hope Angry doesn't think I'm taking over. I'm just being entertaining while he's puttering around his bar.
Yeah, no, Catherine has taken the steering wheel.
Yay! I like that. I like that a lot.
Right. Okay. So this is pretty straightforward. 1 ounce, 1 ounce, 1 ounce, 30 mils of each of these. So 30 mils of Rittenhouse Rye, which is a really nice 100 proof, 50% alcohol rye whiskey. Mac is probably a lot lower. Yeah, Mac's only 23% alcohol. Most liqueurs are lower alcohol. So 30 mils of Mac liqueur. And 30 mils of pineapple juice. I don't have fresh pineapple juice, but this juice is yummy. I'm going to use it. All right. I better get another glass because the other glass has got egg whites.
Green glass.
Okay. Is this going to be strong? It's not real. It's not real weak either. How do I wake up? I don't drink enough as a rule to get hangovers. Even, was it last Friday night or the Friday night before? We went a little bit hard. I remember it was. I don't think it was last Friday. I think it was the Friday before. Well, I can't be sure that we went a little bit hard. I didn't have a hangover in the morning though. I wouldn't have liked to have like even one or two more drinks. I probably would have been really under the weather in the morning, but I was fine. And AIDzee even woke me up stupidly early with a text message because he doesn't understand sleep and time as it applies to normal people because it doesn't work normally for him. So, yeah, I mean, it's not much color-wise, but
Yeah.
it's very nice drink. Oh, the Mac such a nice flavor, like the macadamia nut flavor. Considering it's going up against a high proof rye whiskey, the macadamia flavor is coming through really well. The Mac is really good for desserty type cocktails as well, like anything creamy and whatnot. It's like there's real chocolate notes in the Mac as well. So it's like nutty and chocolatey, and yeah, with the rye whiskey and a bit of pineapple juice, it's like,
How nutty does the Mac taste on its own?
Let me get a shot glass because it is designed to just be drunk on its own. So get one of my shot glasses. I'll just have a sip. I could be gross and sip it straight out of the bottle, but I'm going to act a little bit dignified. Just put a little bit into a shot glass. So it's a nice sort of amber color on its own. And it, definitely smells like macadamias when you do it. It's really good because it's not a high alcohol, so it doesn't burn going down.
Oh, that's good.
Although it's warm, it's a little bit sweet. Yeah, it's a little bit sweet. It's almost like chocolate macadamias. It's like slightly sweetened macadamias. Like, how do they have a few recommendations on how to take it. Yeah, one is just easy Mac, just pour Mac over ice and do a squeeze of lime. I think that would be good. And yeah, their version of an espresso martini, some Mac, espresso coffee, vodka and sugar syrup. But yeah, they recommend having it over ice, squeeze of lime. I reckon that'd be really good, actually.
Yeah. No, I'm liking the sound of the espresso martini Mac.
Yeah, I see. I don't drink coffee, so I'm not into. Oh, Kirsten puts the Mac on ice cream. Oh, apparently it's really good on ice cream. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, Safa's drinking passion fruit cider and had AIDzee steak for dinner. I had Costco butter chicken for dinner. Surprisingly good, because I mean, I never expected Costco food to be particularly good, but most of it actually is. And yeah, they have a butter chicken which is really quite good. So,
Yeah.
and roti bread. I had.
I love that.
It was very good. Oh god damn, this is a good drink. I haven't actually had a drink with the Mac for a while, and I'm just getting reminded. Oh yeah,
really that's good.
Luke likes coffee, so you're going to be mad for the espresso martinis. See, two of the trendiest cocktails for the last couple of years have been the espresso martini and Negroni. And Negroni's main thing is Campari, which I just can't like. And I've never had a Negroni with Campari that I like, and it's just like, so the two trendy cocktails are not for me. I can make something like a Negroni because I just swap Campari out for something that's not quite as bitter as Campari is. But I mean, I've got a couple of bitter aperitivos and digestives over there. So I'm not I don't object to bitter, but I don't know, Campari. I just can't do Campari. It's a bridge too far for me.
Oh yeah. Well, the last time I had espresso martinis was when I went out on my own last year to Hoyt Lux for my birthday to see Captain Marvel. Have I told you this?
Oh no! Tell me about it.
So it was a long weekend here, and I had nothing to do, so I went there on my own, and I ordered some food and an espresso martini. And then I mentioned that it's my birthday and I'm alone, so they gave me the extra free espresso martini. So that was cool. But as someone who doesn't drink, 2 espresso martinis got me really buzzed.
Yeah, they'll do that.
Yeah.
Okay, just making note. If I've sold you on the Mac, they have it at Dan Murphy's. Made from macadamias grown on a regenerated rainforest farm. That sounds pretty good. Okay, and Kirsten agrees that Campari sucks. Good. The only good thing they do is Negroni week. See, I would use. I've got a few. I've got a Dolan bitter. I've got Aperol, which is another Italian one that's much less bitter than fucking Campari. And now I've got Okar Gold, but Okar also make an Amaro, so that's an Australian maker. So yeah, when I use, although they're both almost full, so they're not going to be used for a long time. As I was saying, if I use up one of my red bitter aperitivos, I'm going to buy Australian as much as possible now. See, because then it's like I'm not an alcoholic. I'm a patriot. It's so yeah, Safa, Kirsten. Oh, that okay. I just realized, Safa, you only be seeing the chat on YouTube. Yes, Kirsten is in the chat on Facebook.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why you're not seeing, and that is actually also why usually when I answer someone, I say who I'm answering in case other people can't see them. So, okay, Safa's excited that rugby's coming back. Luke seems excited movies coming back.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, see, Kirsten and I are of a mind. Not an alcoholic, supporting small business. That's what it's all about.
Lovely.
Same as like a date night with Mrs. Angry. We've been getting takeaway from upmarket places that have can't make business but are doing takeaways, and it's like, I'm not being decadent. I'm supporting local business. That's
yeah, I love doing that. Yeah, it's always good. Probably gonna do it again this Friday night. So yeah. Only 20 people in the cinema. Wow.
So I don't know how many will open because I don't know how economically viable that is. Because in another month they'll be letting 50 people in venues, and I think most cinemas would be able to make a go of it with 50 people in a cinema. So be very interesting to see what happens. I don't know when I'm actually going to go out somewhere again. Have to decide with Mrs. Angry when we feel like actually going out is a good idea. I mean, I think, I don't know, we've done really well in Australia. There doesn't seem to be many community cases around, but we saw from the way the fucking virus took off in the first place, it can sneak up on you really quickly. You can go from 1 week there are no cases, and 2 weeks later there are hundreds of cases.
Yeah.
And 2 weeks after that, there are thousands of cases. So I don't know. I feel cautiously hopeful that we're gonna manage it.
I'm looking at that cinema thing, how Luke says only 20 people in a cinema. Is that per screen?
That's per
Like,
screen, yeah, like per room. So
yeah, yeah. But you wouldn't be like if you and your partner went, you probably couldn't get 2 seats together. You would probably have to be 4 or 5 apart.
I think they set it up so couples can book 2 seats together, but each booking is, at least 2 meters apart. So it's like there's
Yeah,
at least two or three empty seats between each booking. Because it's kind of
yeah,
like, if you live together,
yeah.
it's pointless.
You've got all the same germs.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's kind of like I went out to the supermarket with my son like a month ago, basically when people were most paranoid about it, when they were
Oh
putting
yeah.
in all the rules and whatnot. And when I know I felt like someone was trying to tell us to stand further apart from each other, and I went, "We live together, okay? There's no germs he has that I don't have, and there's no germs I have that he doesn't have. We're not
Yeah.
random strangers. We're family. So yeah, but yeah, there's I don't know. I'm a fairly cautious person, so I don't know how long it's going to be until I actually go out somewhere. I don't know. Maybe we can say, you negotiate with Mrs. Angry. How adventurous are we feeling? Do we feel safe? Do you want to go to a venue where there'll be other people? Or, I've got no problem with waiting another month and just going, no, let's let other people mingle for a month and see if a whole bunch of new cases come up. And if other people mingle for a month with no significant downside, then I'll be more comfortable doing it. So, yes. Well, I know, in Victoria, Safa's saying we got an unequivocal directive. If you're working from home now, keep working from home until at least the end of June. I think people who've been able to work at home should keep working at home as much as possible for as long as possible. So, yeah. Oh, Luke, you've been catching public transport.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, you're indestructible. Okay.
Yeah, I've been catching public transport here in Adelaide, and they tape off the front 2 seats, like the front row, so that I guess the driver doesn't get it.
Yeah. So you're sitting further away from the driver, yeah.
Yeah, but other than that, it's been pretty quiet. Like, I've just been going out to physio appointments and shopping, and that's about it.
Yeah. I don't know how they're going to do it, because there's all this thing about, you're only letting 12 people on a train carriage and 8 people on a bus, and it's like, how many trains and shit are you running? Because people are going to lose their fucking minds if you keep saying you're not allowed on this train, you're not allowed on the next train, you're not allowed on the next train.
And the platform's going to get so crowded, it's going to be more and more difficult to social distance on the platform.
Yeah. So, damn, man, I am working from home for June. I don't know if I even have a job after June, because I'm a contractor, and my contract runs till the end of June. And initially, it was a government contract, state government, and because there's all these complications with the state government's budget. And so my whole team were all contractors, and we were under the impression that we weren't going to have our contract extended. We're doing cybersecurity for this government department. And then apparently, when they hadn't allocated any budget past the end of June, apparently the big public service boss is looking at the budget for the next year and says to the head of IT, I noticed that you haven't allocated any money for cybersecurity next year. That doesn't seem like a good idea. And
Okay.
so now they're scrambling to do it. So they might get a budget to keep us. I might be staying in the same job for another couple of months, which I don't mind having to go and get another job, but staying where I am is much easier than going out into the job market again.
It will, because right now in the job market, it's just gonna be like almost impossible, if not very, very difficult to get a new job.
It will be a hassle, but I've been working cybersecurity, which is in high demand at the moment. So I can put the one.
Yeah.
Saf was asking, is it my longest contract? No, it's only 6 months. My longest contract, I started for 6 months and stayed somewhere for 2 years. It's not Vic Treasury, but I'm also not going to answer any other questions, because I'm not going to say which department it is.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to say which department it isn't either.
Exactly.
Yes, state government is very, 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 very big and covers a lot of different things.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's a really good place to work. I quite like the people, and I'm a bit of a nerd, so I actually enjoy the cybersecurity stuff, because you're kind of doing a lot of cutting edge stuff and looking at what the newest technology is, and so I get to be all nerdy, which is, I'm nerd enough to enjoy that.
Yeah.
But it's all good.
Mm.
Yes. Luke, is the government going to push for people to get jobs? Where are the jobs coming from? If you're talking federally, Morrison's full of shit. Morrison's going to destroy industrial relations in this country. Within a year, I reckon, we're going to have really huge, aggressive demonstrations against what the federal government's going to do with industrial relations and job protection. So that's my prediction. We're going to have a lot of industrial unrest, a lot of protests, a lot of strikes, a lot of fighting with the government in the next year or so. That's my prediction.
Not like 9:30. Do you want to stay or leave?
I'm gonna go to bed. It's like 10 o'clock.
Exactly. It's 9:30 here, so.
Yeah. It's just coming up on 10, so I'm gonna go to bed. Saf says the Chinese hackers undermine my job. Chinese hackers keep me in a job because everyone's paranoid. Everyone's paranoid about the hackers. Apparently, phishing is very big. PHISHING. Phishing, for those who don't know, is what they call. That's emails that fake that they're from someone and they want you to give them the credentials. It's like, basically like, oh, there's been a charge on your credit card. You have to log in here and verify your identity to make sure that you don't lose thousands of dollars on your credit card. And it's not
you lose thousands of dollars on your credit card.
Yeah, it's not your bank who sends it. And if you click the link and put your credentials in, the hackers then have your password and email. And some of the phishing attempts are really dumb and obvious. Yeah. Some of them are very sophisticated and very hard to pick. Basically, if you get an email from literally anyone saying, oh, log in, unless you're actually doing something where you expected the email, if you get an unexpected email that says, oh, log in here to verify your identity, don't go to the actual website of the company and log in and check if you have to do something. Because if you get an email, it can look totally legitimate. And when you click on the link, it can take you to a site that looks totally legitimate, but someone's going to steal your credentials. So don't, unless you're doing, when you do the stuff where you're signing up for something new or you're changing your password and you click submit and they'll actually say, we're sending an email to you to verify this. That's okay. But if you get one unsolicited that just says, oh, you have to click this link and log into your account, don't do it. If you think it might be real, don't follow the link in the email. Go to the company website and log in and check if there's something there that's telling you to do it. Because if it's legitimate, you haven't lost anything. But if it's a scammer, you've avoided being scammed by them. So, unless you've asked for the email, don't follow the link in it. So they're really, 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 they're pretty aggressive, and they're messing with people because everyone's agitated with stuff with COVID-19, and a lot of people are working at home instead of working in the office. And so it's all different and confusing. And they get an email that looks like it's from their help desk. And the hackers are definitely taking advantage of the COVID-19 turmoil.
And everyone gets plain confused. So,
And it's very
stirs up more confusion, and so you click the link.
So it's a big thing at the moment. So you got to be really careful of it. So on that little bit of helpful advice, gonna leave you fine and fabulous people and go to bed. Thanks for dropping in, Catherine. It's always nice to see you.
You're welcome. Thanks for the chat, and have a great night.
You too. Thanks, everyone in the chat. Look after yourself, one and all. Hopefully see you again soon. But bye.